Hello, everybody. Lord Magicus here. I was off for a week because I was out on a little vacation and then came back and yeah, we're here to stream more fishies. And it's been a while since I've had a guest with me, but I do have somebody here with me. I have my boo, Jess. Say hi.
Hi. Hello, everyone.
Jess is not really familiar with magic for the most part, so I think this will be kind of interesting to kind of explain what we're doing as we're going through this. So hopefully it'll be a little bit more entertaining with somebody besides me talking a bit.
Yes, I
uh,
don't know anything about Magic the Gathering except it's cardboard crack, apparently.
yep, that's it. You got it. See, you already are like ahead of the curve in this. Yeah, you've seen like Billy and me talk about this so much that you probably already like know far more than you should. So
That's the only thing I gathered. It's cardboard crack. And then mana, something about gathering mana. And
yeah,
then land. There's something
yep,
about lands, something about fishies. Yeah.
yep. Yeah. So sadly, I know the one thing that you do know is Sfaloon, but Sfaloon is not present in our deck today.
Hey, Loon!
I know.
Why do you disrespect on the goddess, say Loon?
Yes,
Gonna
unfortunately.
curse.
So, well, let's talk about this deck here. So, yeah, you mentioned we have mana. So, yeah, we're playing mono blue today. So, we have our regular mana base here, and our Sink into Stupors once again because it's both a land and a spell, which is nice. Helps us curve out. We also have Glasspool Mimic, which is another land slash spell, and it helps copy our creatures. So yeah, we have less stuff to flood into. This is a list that Nikachu actually played to a 5-0. I think what was it like within the last week sometime. Um, and the idea is, I think he was mostly building this for the post ban announcement world because Monday, Magic's going to see many bans. Like I think everybody agrees in this. The announcement is on Monday, so there's going to be bans, and the format's going to shake up. We don't know exactly what's going to happen yet, but Nadu is not going to stay. That card's getting banned into oblivion, and probably other cards. Like I feel like the One Ring or Grief have a very high chance of getting banned too. So we'll see. But
Are they are they overpowered?
they are extremely overpowered. Yeah.
Which one was it that which one that is it that's getting banned that you have?
So Nadu is the most uh agreed upon card that's going to get banned, but very highly likely is that Grief and the Lord of the Rings, the One Ring, is probably going to get banned. They're very high
The
in the list.
one ring that ruled them all.
Yeah. Well, of course, that's like the marquee card for that set. They made like the most broken card to sell that set, and yeah, it's absurdly strong. It's in like almost half of the decks in the format play that card, so that's not
Uh,
okay.
so the one what does the you said Madu?
Nadu the Winged Wisdom. Yep.
What does it do? Why is it getting banned? Like
Here, hold on. I'll show you. Basically, it's a creature that is it lets you draw like a bajillion cards in one turn, and yeah, enables you to win the game. But it can win the game like very fast. And
yeah,
here we
because
go.
if you don't have the
It's
card that you want, you can just like keep on drawing cards until you get it.
basically, yeah. The idea is that this card here says that any time that you target a creature of yours with anything, then you get to either put a land from the top of your deck into play or draw the card. And it does it twice for every creature. And they play this along with another creature that makes a new creature every time a land goes into play. So you can kind of see, like, okay, I target this with something, and then I flip a land into play, and I make another creature, and then that's like two more times I can target something, and then try to find another land to put into play to make another creature. They go through their entire deck in like one turn with this. It's absurd. And
Man.
even if you want to destroy this thing, you're yeah if I wanted to say use a removal spell to kill Nadu, they still get to do it at least one time. So they never like lose out on cards. So
Yeah.
Hello, Emily. Hi.
Hello.
I see you in the chat here. Yeah. So this card is absurdly powerful, and in that the deck that it's in is extremely boring to play against because there's like a bajillion game actions you have to play. It's kind of like a solitaire thing where so there are a lot of problems with this. One, like I said, it's incredibly consistent and fast to combo out with this deck. It's very miserable to play against. That nobody really likes it, and also it makes tournaments run a lot longer as well. So
Yeah.
that's a huge problem because the turn that it actually goes off on it takes like it can take like 5 to 10 minutes for it to actually complete doing what it's trying to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, this just because of that reason alone, like we've already seen cards that get banned for that exact reason. So like there's like a 99% chance that this card is gonna die tomorrow.
Die.
Yeah.
No,
So
I liked Yu-Gi-Oh when I was a kid, and I would watch like the Yu-Gi-Oh duels and stuff like that, and it really sucked when like they would have the same card in their deck, like not really like having a blue eyes, but like Monster Reborn, like this just the same cards over and over.
well,
Um,
there are a lot of strategies like that in Magic actually, where the Reanimator, and I'll talk about that with Grief in a second, but yeah,
yeah,
Magic has a lot of the same types of strategies where the idea is that you want to very consistently find these cards. So like the Nadu deck in particular also has like another card called Chord of Calling that they can use to help find Nadu very, very fast. So they can use it to search their deck for that card and put it right into play. So yeah, they have many copies of it and they can find it very consistently.
yeah.
And there also are reanimator strategies that like when you put a card into your graveyard, you can put it onto the battlefield, and that's one of the problems with the other card that we were talking about, Grief, and that's very likely to get banned, I think, as well.
I don't think it should be like banned unless it's like really overpowered, but like
Right, yeah. No,
I
reanimator as a strategy
you
is
have
good, I
like
think.
5 Monster Reborn cards or 5 Return to Hand. Like what is the point of playing the game? You should have like limit to like 1 or 2, like depending on
Yeah.
like how
Well,
many hit points you
so
have, and it's
yeah, this
like
is
it
the
just
other
makes
one.
the game boring because it would be like uh this card, this card. Okay, I win, and I'm like, Yugi yawn.
Yeah, well, again, that you're not very far off from like the problem with this card, and it's because this is a card that you can play literally on the first turn of the game, where when you play it, you don't actually pay any mana to cast this card. Like this part of the card is irrelevant. Nobody cares. They are choosing to do this evoke thing, so they play it by exiling a card from their hand instead. So they get to do it on the first turn. And when they play it, they get to pick a card from your hand and take it away. And then they can also reanimate this thing so it comes back into play after you do this, and then they get to do it again. And you start the game off losing your 2 best cards out of your hand, and they get to start the game with this in play. So
Yeah, and then you combo with that with the Nadu one, and you could just keep on trucking with the
oh god.
cards.
I don't think anybody has gone insane enough to try to play this in that deck, but like fucking Svaloon help us if somebody got that idea.
I will.
But yeah, no, so for kind of the same reason, because like you start the game off like, it's very like consistent with, they're just gonna grief scam you, take away your 2 best cards, and like the game already is like very difficult and boring because now, all right, basically it's like, do they start the game with this or not? And like, it's very difficult to climb back from it once this takes over the game. So,
It'd
I
be
bet.
funny if like a copycat where you just like copy the card that was just played, and then it's just like back and forth of just grabbing the same.
So about that, that's why we actually have this Mockingbird card in our deck here. That would be this one.
Oh yeah.
So this Mockingbird card can enter play as a copy of any creature that's already in play, and
Oh,
that So there are a couple creatures in particular that we really would like to have enter in as a copy of. One of them is a card called Orcish Bowmasters, which is very dangerous to our strategy because one of the reasons that we don't play with the Silvergill Adept card right now because it's really bad against this Bowmasters card. Every time that we draw cards, it just makes it worse. So this Mockingbird, however, can come into play and copy Bowmasters, which is in fact the best way to kill an opposing Bowmasters, which is nice.
Can you show the Bowmaster?
Yes, yes, I will do that.
Yeah, let's pull that up. Bow? Is it like a bow, like a bow and arrow? Bowmaster?
Yeah, yeah, it is exactly like that. It's another Lord of the Rings card that's very powerful, and honestly,
Uh,
it's a card I think some people kind of
oh,
want this to be banned, but like it's hard to say whether it's ban worthy or not.
Bowmaster enters the battle.
So what happens is when it comes into play, it gets to deal 1 damage to anything. So it'll either deal you a damage, or it will like deal a damage to one of your creatures, like say this Silvergill Adept. And whenever you draw a card, it can then do it again to deal another damage to something. And every time that it deals a damage to something like this, it makes a token that gets bigger. So
Hmm. I'm a little confused, but I'll figure it out.
yeah, I mean, there's a good chance that you're gonna see this happen as we're doing this. So
Yes. I'm
uh,
learning. This is my first day.
yeah, but you kind of got the idea though. Like so we play. So the strategy for this particular list is that it actually wants to draw a lot of cards because this Tamiyo card here wants you to draw 3 cards in 1 turn in order to flip this thing, and then you get to do really fun stuff on the backside of it. Its primary purpose is to slow down a lot of the other aggressive creature decks because it's a big butt blocker. It's a 0/3, so it can soak up a lot of damage here. And when it attacks, it lets us basically draw extra cards. So and when it flips over to the other side, it gives us even more value, which is nice. And to do that, we're playing with both Silvergill Adept and Spreading Seas, which also draw us lots of cards. So we can hopefully trigger this thing based on the clue tokens and these guys here. Um, yeah, it's very vulnerable to this Bowmaster thing. So like I said, drawing extra cards is what triggers this to do its pinging thing again. So it's very annoying. But one of the ideas behind Mockingbird is that it should be able to at least copy the Bowmaster and kill it when it's in play. So we have some answer to it in the main deck. Normally we would play something like Dismember to try to deal with it, but I think the idea here is this deck was built with the idea that Nate is getting banned, and they want to you know, think about what the format is going to look like after that card goes away.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why it's like we don't have that card in our main deck right now, but normally Dismember would be in it. Oh, but yeah, like with the Mockingbird, we might not need it in the main deck, so try to make these a little bit bigger so you can see them easier. There we go. That's good. So otherwise, like it's kind of our normal shell. We're playing with our counter spells in the deck. Our Merfolk that make our other fishes bigger here. But the other important thing about this deck is that it attacks on an unfair axis. Winning a fair game of Magic right now is just not reasonable for Merfolk to do. So instead, the other thing this deck aims to do is turn all of our opponent's lands into islands so that hopefully they can't cast any actual spells. So we have Harbinger of the Seas, which turns everything into islands, and then both Tide Shaper and Spreading Seas in our main deck that turn things into islands. And we can copy, like our Harbingers with Mockingbirds and Glasspool Mimic so that even if they get rid of one of them, we should still have more of them to deal with it. And then in that sideboard, we have Hexcatcher for stuff like the Storm deck, and any time like some of these like say Spreading Seas might not be good, we can always like bring this in. Or
I love
Chalice.
the art on
You like the art in
like
this?
yeah, I love the art on that. That's awesome.
The Merfolk usually have really good art in the cards. It is really
Yeah.
nice.
It's really pretty.
Yeah. And this Chalice of the Void card is another thing that like stops our opponent from being able to play certain spells. So if we go up against like the Boros energy deck, they play lots of 1 mana spells, so hopefully we can play this in one and just get lucky that they can't cast a whole bunch of stuff. And that, you know, if we turn off their 1 mana spells and then like turn all their other lands into islands, then they might not be able to play the game. And that's probably as good as we're gonna hope to do against that deck. So yeah, that's kind of
Yeah.
where we're at here. Like the format is going to change radically next week, so you know we just are kind of testing out some stuff. We may as well. It's in a really weird place right now, so we'll play through this league. We'll see how it does, but the plan behind this deck is definitely not to try to win fair games of Magic. It's to try to lock the opponent out of being able to do anything, and then we just beat them.
You better win. That's
I
all I'm
mean,
saying.
yeah, we're gonna try.
Nope. Better win or don't come to South Carolina again.
Oh no.
That's okay.
It's
Maybe
not a it's not a good
it-
place for a merfolk to be. It's very hot there.
Dry up. Well, I'm 4 hours away from the beach, so
All right.
it does
Let's
have
see.
Myrtle Beach in it. So
All right.
very nice.
So we get to go first here. So our
Woohoo.
handle we only have one island though. That's kind of a problem. But we have a Force of Negation, so that's a plus, but the minus is we can play Tamiyo, but if we don't draw a second land, we're kind of screwed. I don't think we can afford to gamble on one land. This is definitely much better. So I think what we want to do here is we're going to keep this, and I think we'll throw away the Mutavault. Yeah, we'll start with Island, we'll play Tamiyo, and then we can play Cavern of Souls, play like Master of the Pearl Trident, and then turn 3 we can play Harbinger of the Seas.
Woo! Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, this is a pretty good hand to start with here. And we get to start with Tamiyo right away, so it's not a card that Merfolk plays very often, so they're not going to really expect what we're doing with this.
Oh.
Alright. Okay, oh, we're up against Tron. No, that's not great.
Who's this person? Tron?
So, basically, they're playing a bunch of really big, scary, colorless spells, and all their lands tap for like 2 mana instead of 1. However, this Chromatic Orrery makes me nervous because, yeah, I don't feel good about that. So I'm actually kind of inclined to draw a card with this instead of playing this Master of the Pearl Trident right now, because I really think we want to find a counter spell. Playing creatures right now I don't think is the important thing. I don't need to do this right this second. I can wait till their turn. Yeah, that's not good. Thought Not Seer? No. Karn. Okay, well, we have to do this right now. Or we will not be able to draw a card with this. That's actually not that bad. So Karn is a thing. We can turn all their lands here into island. The problem is that they're going to probably get the One Ring. Yeah, this is one of the decks that plays the One Ring, and they like have basically 8 copies of it because of Karn.
That's cheating. They're
It
cheating.
Well, there's usually 3 in the main deck, and then like 1 in the sideboard that all 4 copies of Karn can find. So
Oh Lord.
yeah, this -2 ability lets them search their sideboard for a card and put it in their hand. So it's very powerful.
Magicus, you better try to win.
Yeah, well, we gotta try, but this is gonna... Harbinger of the Seas can slow them down a lot, but the problem is they can still cast most of their stuff because they have this talisman, so they're not gonna be shut out of casting most of their spells. Yeah, they're probably gonna get the One Ring here. Um,
It's just don't die. Magic
they
kiss.
got that's even worse. So they got liquid metal coating, which means they're probably gonna go after my lands here. So all right,
No.
all right. Well then we need to do this right now because it will slow them down a lot.
Slow them down, Magicus. Hustle on the defense.
All right. So we attack. We'll get another clue token. We can't use the clue unfortunately, but it's there when we need it.
What does the clue do? What do you mean, a
You can
clue?
pay. This token means we can pay 2 mana and sacrifice it to draw a card. However, because Karn means we can't use activated abilities of artifacts, so we can't use our clue token while this is in play.
Ah, that
Yeah.
sucks.
So it's just going to sit here until we can get rid of this guy. Now,
Curse you, Con!
the problem here is that they're going to start killing off our lands for a little while. Because they have this liquid metal coating, so they're going to turn one of these lands into an artifact, and then they're gonna kill it with Karn. Because they're going to turn it into a creature with this thing. Yep. So he's going to get to blow up at least one more of my lands, too. The thing is, we do have Harbinger of the Seas in play right now, so it does help. Alright, we have a couple options here.
Oh, you got an island card. There you go.
I do. That was actually really helpful because it means even if they like kill another one of my islands, I can still put spells into play. All right. I think that I probably need to play Master of the Pearl Trident and attack Karn. They'll get to kill one more of my lands, but then I'll be able to kill it next turn no matter what they do with it. And it means they won't be able to search their deck for another card with it. So
Get it, Magicus. Kill
yeah.
him.
The only way this goes badly is if they have Dismember in their hand. But I think if they have Dismember, we were gonna die anyway.
Yeah.
We're gonna have this guy attack Karn, and then Tamiyo will get us another clue token. So when Karn goes away, eventually we'll be able to use this and hopefully draw some more cards.
Yep. Are we waiting for him? The other
Yeah,
guy?
yeah, the other person has to figure out what they're doing now.
Oh man. Hopefully that means that they're stumped a little bit.
Well, yeah, sometimes they just like walk away from the keyboard for a second because like somebody's yelling at them, but alright, you attack Karn, and you just attack. Yeah. Tamiyo doesn't do any damage. Its effect only just makes tokens when it attacks. I can also play this as a land next turn if they blow one of these up, so that's fine. Sure. Okay, so I guess they're going to play the creature guy now. Yep, okay.
Sewing.
They get to put another land into play. However, my creatures have island walk, so I can attack them.
Show him the errors of his way, Magicus.
That's the plan. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, so this is a decision point here, and I feel like the correct thing... We have to kill Karn. They have 2 cards in their hand. Now, if they have Dismember and they kill this thing in the middle of combat, that's going to be really bad for us, so... I could attack him for an extra 3 damage if I play this Master of the Pearl Trident right now, but I feel like the safe thing to do is I need to attack Karn with this guy, and then Karn will die, and if they try to kill this thing, then I can use the Force. But I can't do that and play Master right now, so... If they don't kill it in combat, it means they probably don't have that spell.
Or maybe that's what they want you to think.
Well, that's why I'm doing this, because this is safer. I cannot afford for this Karn to live. We're not going to survive otherwise.
Yes.
Alright, and then I think here I'm going to play Master the Pearl Trident, and we're just going to... So on their turn, I can play this for free. I can't... If I play it on my turn, I actually have to pay mana for it.
Expedition map.
So here's the thing. I kill them in 2 turns now anyway, so attacking them didn't really do anything anyway. Because they have 2 turns right now with my board, or they're going to die.
Okay. Alright.
That they do have a bunch of scary spells that they can play that are very dangerous to me. Like the One Ring is definitely one of them. They have cards they can play that actually do kill these things too. That is one of them. That's... Oh no, I'm sorry, that's not one of them. They're gonna exile that thing. You know what? It's not. I'm not happy about that. That's fine. They're trying to do a land destruction strategy against me. So, okay. You know, if that's the best thing they had to do here, then we're actually in pretty good shape. Because we're winning this race.
Show them the fist of Magicus.
That's the plan. Okay. All right. So I guess we want to attack here.
Attack.
Yeah, they can't block anything, so this is okay. We'll make another clue token.
Yeah, you got like 4 of them, yeah?
I do. I can also play this Spreading Seas and turn this thing into an island. I think I'm going to do that. It'll draw me another card, so I might find another land to play. Yeah.
All the land.
That is actually a land I can play, so we'll play it. So basically, they have to do something this turn or they're dead. Again, there are things they can find, but I guess they didn't find them. So they surrendered. All right, good, excellent. Our mana denial strategy was effective. That's good.
They said we cannot defeat the Magicus.
No, they cannot.
Magicus is superior in every way.
So here's the thing. This is a Karn deck, and all of their creatures are really big, so Tamiyo is not very good here. The Subtlety, however, is actually going to be helpful, because it slows them down a fair bit. And...
So are you playing the same guy? Like, is it like...
So yeah, so what happens is every round that you play is the best 2 out of 3 games. So
okay, that's what I figured.
Whoever goes first in the first game, if it's determined randomly. However, if you lose the first game, then you get to go first in the second game, and then if there's a third game and whoever lost, gets to go first in the last game. So
yeah. Well, at least you get to know, his hand and kind of come up with a better strategy. And then, but it's a double-edged sword because then he knows how you play. So.
Correct. So we're changing our deck up a little bit to be better against him, but they're going to do the same thing against us.
Yeah.
So the only other card that I would consider here is probably this Hexcatcher. I don't think that Dismember is very good against him. I mean, Hexcatcher is not terribly great either, but like... Neither is this Silvergill Adept. I don't know. Silvergill's okay. I guess the Mockingbird is also okay. I don't know if I would say that it's amazing, but
amazing.
The Hexcatcher might be a little bit better. We probably do want to keep the Spreading Seas. They're pretty good.
Spreading Seas.
Yeah, I'm gonna say maybe these are gonna be better here.
Do they help you like with island cards?
Yeah, it turns their lands into islands, so it makes it harder for them to cast the spells they want to cast.
Okay.
It's hard to... I'm not sure how to value Mockingbird here. I don't really feel like it's that good. But it does have flying. It can copy our own creatures, but I don't know. I'm gonna say that maybe it's not that important. Okay. I'll try it like this.
All right. You're getting really close there, Magicus.
That's
14 seconds.
yeah, that's the plan. All right.
Make them sweat. Make them sweat.
Yep. All right. They get to go first. This hand. This is actually not really that good of a hand, to be honest.
Oh, really? Because I see lands. You got some islands. I mean.
So we do have some lands, but the problem is that we don't really have any creatures to do it. So part of the thing is Aether Vial is very good when you have a lot of creatures, but we only have one creature, and we're not putting it into play until like turn 4. Okay. And this doesn't really do anything without having creatures, and this is really the only spell that we're casting, so I think we have to mulligan. This is much better.
Okay.
So here we go. We have a counter spell here. Silvergill Adept's pretty good. I think we just get rid of Hexcatcher probably. And go. It actually, I don't know. Like we could potentially keep the Tide Shaper, but I feel like if we're gonna play Harbinger, we'll be fine anyway. So. Yeah, so we'll probably just get rid of Hexcatcher. So then we do this in turn 1, this in turn 2, this in turn 3, and hopefully that's good enough.
Okay.
So we'll do it like this.
Start off slow and then go hardcore.
Yeah, and if they play something in turn 1, I can always throw the Tide Shaper away to this Force of Negation. Yep. So they're down to 5 cards, which means, yeah, that's going to make it a lot harder for them. The more you mulligan, the less cards you get to start the game with, so you don't want to mulligan more than you absolutely have to. So now they're trying to decide, can they win with just 5 cards or not? I mean, this hand is going to make it a little bit difficult for them to do that, hopefully, so... We have creatures to put into play to attack them with, but also to, like, slow them down with, too. Alright, so there's the basic forest. So that actually makes me inclined to potentially Tide Shaper them on turn 2.
Yeah.
Because their basic forest will not be turned into an island here. So I want to play this Harbinger of the Seas. Alright, well, they play Beseiju here. Neat. That will get turned into an island. Again, they don't do anything, so... Merfolk. Alright, we'll play the Tide Shaper. We'll turn their forest into an island.
Yes.
Basic lands are usually immune to a lot of effects like this Harbinger of the Seas, so if you want to hurt them, you have to use very single target things like this. So, yeah, they can have 4 mana here. If they try to play Karn or something, we can just force it. No, that's okay. They put a land in play. They should get another basic forest. If they don't get a basic forest, they're going to be in a world of hurt, so... They're probably not going to be able to cast a lot of stuff if they don't do this. If they go for, like... Yeah, okay, they decide that they want to actually play this game. Yeah, because they have a good idea that I'm going to do this next turn, and it's going to hurt. Alright, so let's play this, named Merfolk. We will play our Harbinger of the Seas, turn all their lands into islands. It also turns our lands into islands, but it doesn't really matter for the most part because we want islands anyway, so...
We are Merfolk people. We love
the
sea.
So like these don't produce colorless mana anymore. Yeah, absolutely not. Get that shit out of here.
Get that shit out of here.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm saying. They're playing the One Ring, and that if they had played that One Ring card right there, we would be in a world of hurt. Alright, Mutavault is really good, except on this board state, it's actually not very useful, so... Because it can't use its ability to be turned into a creature. However, we can start attacking them. They can't block. They only have one card left, so if their card is not very good, then we might have a chance.
Yes.
We'll see. Depends on whether they play something right now. Oh god. They have Karn. It's not the worst. Actually, it could be bad. They might get Ensnaring Bridge. That would be very dangerous for us.
Doesn't sound good.
It's either that or they'll probably get another One Ring. They got Walking Ballista. Ooh, that's really bad too. Walking Ballista is a way for them to kill our creatures. Unfortunately, that's not going to protect our creatures either.
Don't die, Magicus.
Alright, you have to attack Karn to kill it, and you have to attack them. So here's the thing. If Walking Ballista wants to kill off my Harbinger of the Seas, they're going to have to spend their entire turn to get rid of this card. This is their only option.
Walking.
Alright, they may not choose to kill off my creatures right now. What they might do is use 2 counters right now to kill off Lord of Atlantis, and then in their turn just use 4 mana to put another counter on it, and then they can kill this thing too. So I don't think I can actually attack them here. Drawing a land was really bad. We needed to draw another creature here in order to have a real chance at winning this game. Them having Walking Ballista is very bad for us. Yeah, we're playing 8 Seas Monster CC. Yeah. They're just gonna go after Harbinger. Okay, you know what? If they're gonna burn this in Harbinger, I'm fine with this. They have 1 card in hand, and they don't so hopefully they don't actually have anything important to cast. And we get our Mutavault back, so we can start attacking them again. They still have an island because of the Tideshaper, so I can attack them with this. Alright. Oh, that's really bad. That means we're basically dead here.
Oh god.
Yeah, that thing kills our Lord. Alright, if we draw another Lord off the top of our deck, then it's not impossible. We could still theoretically win this game, but we need to draw a Lord right now.
We need the heart of the cards, Magicus.
That's right, we do.
It's time to duel.
That's not going to do it. We're screwed.
No! The heart of the cards was a lie. Yugi cheated.
Yeah. Alright. I think it's still possible, but we take 9. Could attack them for 6, block them. If we draw, like, Lord into Lord, it's not impossible, but that's basically where we're at here. I have to take 9 damage this turn.
Oof.
Alright, this has to be a Lord right now or we're dead.
Come on.
Yeah, okay, we're actually just dead now. That doesn't do anything here.
Damn.
So close. We were close, but not quite there. Alright. Yeah, we're just gonna submit this, and we get to be on the play for the 3rd game, so we have a much better chance of winning. We drew way too many lands that game. That was terrible.
It was tie. It was a tie. Yeah, that was wild. It's like every card you got was like a land.
I know. That happens sometimes. It's rough.
Like, please give me a monster card.
Yeah, some people are playing black in their deck so they can play with that Orcish Bowmaster's card we looked at. There's also another one that they can play called Psychic Frog that's really good. So
Psychic Frog.
Yeah, every time it deals damage to the opponent, you get to draw a card with it. So that's powerful.
Yeah, I kind of want to get a frog.
Frogs are really cool. I like frogs.
I love frogs. They're so cool. I don't know what really prompted me like looking up frogs and like habitat.
I'm guessing he's probably watching all those terrarium building videos.
It was. It's so cool. I used to have geckos, like crested geckos.
Okay,
They're
that's
fun,
neat.
but I had babies and they died. I guess I wasn't really good at taking care of geckos, but they were fun. They would jump around.
I'm gonna keep this hand. So here's what's gonna happen. So we only have 1 island, but we have these 2 cards, which are both lands. I can play the Glasspool Mimic as a land, and then turn 2 start tide shaping their lands in a way so they can't do anything, hopefully. Your only issue is you have 2 Bowmasters. You have all 4 frogs, though. So I have all the lands. I don't have, like, the creatures to support it, though, in paper. I don't want to buy them until after the ban announcement, because it's not impossible that, like, Bowmasters could get banned at some point. It's just not likely, I think. We'll see how the meta game shakes out. Alright, so they have Power Plant, they're going to play Expedition Map, that's fine. We're going to turn this Power Plant into an island.
Yes.
And then whatever land they play next turn, I'm probably also going to turn into an island. And I'll play one of these as a land as well. Interesting, so they're not going to do anything with that. Sure. Oh, neat. Okay. That's good. That means whatever their third land is also going to become an island. Yeah, NATO 100%, I agree. That's the most likely course of events here. Yeah, they're going to get another land here. Probably get Eldrazi Temple. Oh, they got Ugin's Labyrinth. Okay. Sure. Does basically the same thing here. Okay, I'll play this as a land, and I will not take any damage. You don't think the One Ring's gonna get banned? I don't know, like, I feel like it probably should, but I don't trust Wizards of the Coast to do the right thing. Historically, they have a huge problem with doing whatever the correct thing is. Okay, there's Karn.
Karn.
Karn will probably get Walking Ballista if I had to take a guess.
Karn's really not that bad. It's when they pulled out that like One Ring, and then
yeah,
there was another one.
So
there was another one I can't remember that they pulled out, and it was like, I was like, oof.
If they get the One Ring, it's actually not that bad. Trinisphere is not a problem at all. That is like the worst possible card they could have gotten here. That's terrible. Why would they do that? I have so many lands in play, it does not matter to me at all. Alright.
Okay. It's like he's showing you like, oh, I have a bad hand, and then he's like gonna finesse you into like,
alright, kill Karn, kill our opponent. Alright, and then we're gonna turn this land into an island. They can play Trinisphere all they want. Oh, this Force of Negation was great. This means if they actually do draw the One Ring, they can't resolve it this turn. I'm just going to counter it. Yeah, they gave up. I don't know what they were thinking. Like, they should have got, like, Walking Ballista or the One Ring. Either one of those would have been way better than Trinisphere. So, alright, so you can see, this card says when they play it, any spell that you play has to cost at least 3 mana. So I have to tap at least 3 lands to play anything, including this card, which on their turn I normally can spend 0 mana to cast this, but I would still have to pay 3 mana to cast it. So it is really relevant. Like, all these guys that cost like 1 or 2, they now cost 3.
So they should have played that card.
Well, no, the problem is that I already have enough lands in play where I can cast all of my spells anyway. The idea is they want to play this card when I don't have at least 3 lands, then I can't play any cards if I only have like 2 lands. But I already have enough lands in play where it doesn't matter. I can cast any of the stuff anyway. Their deck gets around it because almost every card they have costs 3 or more as it is, so it doesn't hurt them. And their lands also make more mana, but it does basically nothing in this board state, so getting this with Karn was like such a huge blunder, I think. Alright, well, we won our first match, so we're off to a good start. And the Merfolk Ponza...
So proud of you, Magicus.
Yeah, the Merfolk Ponza strategy was great. We turned all their lands into islands, and we won, so...
Proud of you.
Thank you.
So I guess you get to come and visit me again, and... maybe we could like do your stream here.
That'd be possible. I think it might. I don't know. I've never tried streaming from elsewhere. I'd have to do it on my laptop, and I've never experimented with that, so I have no idea how that would work. But maybe.
Yeah.
This is an interesting hand. So, alright, what happens here is that we have these two cards which can be played as lands. This is a counter spell I can play for free. This Aether Vial is something I can play in turn 1. Our opponent has mulliganed to 6 already because they get to go first here. We don't have a lot of creatures to hurt them with, and we don't really have any of our turning their stuff into islands. But, well, Tamiyo might be good here. We can use the other one to play this Force of Negation for free. And maybe one of these spells will be relevant. We can draw more cards with our clue token, though, so this is maybe a reason we keep this. We'll see how this turns out. If we draw any more actual creatures, then we'll probably be in good shape, but that's what we gotta see. Alright, Darkslick Shores, they do nothing here. Okay, sure, we'll play Otawara. Play our Aether Vial. Master of the Pearl Trident was a pretty good draw for us. So Aether Vial lets us put creatures into play, and their opponent is not going to be able to counter the creature.
Do you when you played this Magic like online like this?
Yep.
Do you kind of like recognize the people that you're playing with? Like, oh, I'm playing with.
Yeah. So you can see their usernames here, and there are some players that are very, very infamous, I guess you could say. They're very there's a leaderboard for trophies and stuff. You can tell which usernames are the ones that show up a lot.
Oh, they have like a little trophy by their name or something like that.
Yeah, there it is. Let's see. I don't know if you can see it here. Oh, no. Yeah, here's the leaderboard for this modern league here. Yeah, that's how many times they've gone undefeated in this league since it last reset. So,
Sandy.
yeah, there's definitely some names that are really common here. I'm pretty sure we've rated Meatman here a few times after our streams.
Okay. Cute.
Yeah.
Where are you at? Where are you at?
I don't play nearly often enough in order to do this. All right, so Psychic Frog. Okay, it's gonna. Well, here's the thing. They have to discard a ton of cards to Psychic Frog in order to make it do anything useful right now. So let's play this. I'm going to turn their Darkslick Shores into an island so they can't cast anything with black mana. And when they attack with the Psychic Frog, I can block it with Tamiyo. Now, it will keep them from getting to draw a card, and if they want to kill the Tamiyo with it, they'll have to discard at least 2 cards. And it will make them vulnerable, potentially, at some point in the future, maybe. I don't know. We'll see.
Just do your best, Magicus. Do your best.
We'll see how desperate they are in order to draw some cards here. Because they may not want to discard any cards. They have to get rid of at least 2 in order to do this. Survey. Okay, sure. I really hated the fact that I had to play this Springs here, but the thing is, if I don't turn this into an island or into a swamp, then like it gives them more black mana to try to kill this thing here. So they're probably going to try to kill it right now. But I have the Force of Negation to counter their spell. All right. We'll see if they want to throw away at least 2 cards. They choose not to. Okay, that's good. We might just play another frog. Oh, that's not good. That's a Murktide region. Ugh, yucky. We're going to have a hard time getting through that. It's a very big creature very early in the game here. And again, that Sink into Stupor would be very helpful if we had that right now, but unfortunately we do not, so. Alright,
Hey, Loon.
I think the best thing we can do is just play this Master of the Pearl Trident and this Glasspool Mimic and copy it, and because we have to put as much damage into play as we possibly can. So we'll copy our Master here so we can attack them back for 6. And then we still have Force with Tamiyo here. Our Tamiyo may have to block this Murktide Regent. Especially if we can find another Island Walk Lord, then we can potentially kill them in 2 turns. So it's not impossible that we could win this game. If we find another Sink into Stupor, we could bounce one of these creatures, and that would be very good. Okay. I think I'm going to block the Frog here if they give me the ability to. They're only attacking with Murktide. You know what? I think I'm taking the damage from Murktide. It's fine.
Are you just gonna take the L?
Yeah, no, that's fine. I can, because this is going to have to attack me at least 3 more times to kill me. But the Frog is going to draw them a bunch of cards if I don't block that, so. I'm going to leave this on 2, so if I draw another Lord, I can put it in play. That's actually really good. Okay. Silvergill gets to draw us another card. They didn't get to know about this, so they couldn't cast Bowmasters before this did its thing. So here, we're going to attack for 6 damage that they can't block. And now we actually have a very good chance of killing them. And yeah, I'm going to keep Force of Negation up here. So they only have like 1 removal spell, hopefully, and if they find it, I can counter it with Force. With only 3 cards in hand, there's a good chance that they don't have enough removal to kill these things. And if they crack this fetch land, then these 3 creatures will kill them next turn. So they probably can't use this.
They are screwed.
They actually are in a really bad spot here, because they're like facing down 10 damage that they can't block, and they can't actually kill me this turn. They're just digging through their deck trying to find a removal spell. But it's not going to work because I have a counter spell at the ready. If they attack this turn, I think I will probably block with Tamiyo, because I can then play this other one on my turn.
Yes. Show them the ire of the magic folk.
Yeah, I'm going to block this, because again, the Murktide it's still going to take at least 2 turns to kill me. Sure, they're going to put counters on the Psychic Frog to kill this thing. That's fine. But I can just play another one of these next turn. Probably.
They're going down with a fight.
Yeah, that's fine. Hopefully it's not going to matter.
It's not gonna matter. I'm still gonna destroy you.
If I find a Lord, they die this turn. Otherwise, I need to probably find a land. Because there's also a chance they could have a counterspell. Or they could have also found a removal spell, so I can't play the Force and this at the same time unless I have another land. Alright, well, attack.
Oh, what did you draw?
I drew another counterspell. You know what? That was a mistake. I should definitely have played the Spreading Seas first. Because I could have drawn the Lord here to Vial into play. Since I'm doing this anyway.
Don't mess up, Magicus.
That was technically a mistake. I should have definitely done that first.
Come on now, those are rookie mistakes.
It is technically one, yeah. Mockingbird. I could... Either one of these I can play, but I think I'm going to play the Tamiyo. Oh, all right. So I need them not to have a counterspell for this. If they have actual counterspell, then no, they can't cast it because okay, yeah. So this is actually fine because they can't. Oh no, they have these two land. Never mind. Okay, we're dead. Yeah, they have us dead here. I can't.
Really,
Yeah,
Magic this?
yeah.
Really?
I am. They're at one, but they have the two blue here. So
You got cocky. You got
there's.
cocky.
It was really close, but unfortunately we couldn't quite get there. We needed to either draw another lord or another land. So drawing another force that turn was just not quite good enough, unfortunately. Now the problem is that I think that this is an Orcish Bowmaster deck, so and if it is, then the Silvergill Adept's going to be really bad. I think they do play 4 Bowmaster, so I'm not really inclined to leave the Silvergill in the deck. Probably Dismember is a much better card to bring in here. Yeah, and Spreading Seas is also a very dangerous card to be playing against them, so... Could bring in Subtlety, I guess.
Ready to say hooray.
Yeah, this is going to be a little bit rough. Like they have a lot of cards that can play very well against us. I guess I'm going to keep this. This is okay. This Mockingbird is actually pretty good. You definitely want that. I'm going to play this Sink into Stupor here. I don't want to take any damage from it. If they do play Orcish Bowmasters, or even if they play Psychic Frog, we can play this and copy it, so...
Every time I hear Psychic Frog, I keep on thinking of, like, Hypnotoad.
It is, yeah, it's actually very much like that. All glory to the Hypnotoad. Yeah, a lot of cards in Magic are like actually straight up references to stuff like that, so I would not be surprised if like that was kind of
a nod to Futurama.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, that's pretty good too. Okay. So let's encourage them to just use removal in this thing, right? I assume they probably have a fatal push to kill this thing, but I would like them to actually do it now. They could have spell snare as well, which I would not appreciate, but if they do, so be it. Again, I would rather they do it now. Spell snare. Or Stern Scolding, yeah, same thing. They'll probably play Psychic Frog here, and then I'm going to copy it with the bird so I can attack them back and also get to draw cards. Oh, you know what? No, I'm playing Harbinger of the Seas. No, okay, never mind. I'm not going to do it now because they very obviously have Counterspell. They didn't play anything this turn, and they're just passing, so for sure they have Counterspell. Which means if I play this Harbinger of the Seas, it's not going to resolve.
Anticipating your moves.
Yeah, so I'm going to wait.
Make them...
I need them to, like, tap out first. I'm going to try to eat through some of the cards in their hand. An island. So they don't have basic swamp, so if this Harbinger of the Seas ever resolves, like, that'd be very good. That's not bad. Okay. That's actually a reason we can play this Mockingbird right now. Because it gives us access to Flare of Denial for next turn so that we can play Harbinger of the Seas and then sacrifice this Mockingbird to protect Harbinger.
You said a swamp card? I was sitting there thinking they should make like a Shrek card.
You know what? There's a non-zero chance that could happen at some point.
You know, they're making a Shrek 5, apparently.
Sure, of course. That makes sense.
It could happen. They should have a deck called card called Ogering Time. Like the One Ring gets overpowered.
Yeah, it's all ogre now, baby.
It's all ogre now.
Alright. I'm assuming, yeah, there's the counter spell. We knew that they had this, so I'm just trying to bait it out of their hand because I want to cast these other spells and I want these to be the ones that resolve. They got rid of a Tamiyo. Okay, that's fine. I mean, they might play a Murktide Regent, and if they do, I can just Subtlety it. They probably have another counterspell in their hand. All right, I'm gonna play the Harbinger now. I assume that it's gonna get countered, but I have to try.
You have to try Magicus.
I can beat one answer. I can't beat multiples.
Just remember, if you lose.
Oh, this is fantastic. We can Subtlety this Subtlety. This is gonna make it so hard for them now. Okay. Target their Subtlety. Mine is the one that gets to be a thing, not yours.
Yeah. It's all about the Magicus.
Now they don't have any black mana, so they can't use any removal to get rid of this thing. This is incredibly powerful. And if I draw another land, I'll probably use Mockingbird to copy my Harbinger of the Tides. Just in case they get rid of this one somehow. Murktide Regent. Okay, that is the most pathetic Murktide. I can dismember that away, actually. That's probably what I'm going to do here. That's really good. Okay. I'm going to cast Dismember on this Murktide Regent. And I have Flare of Denial in case they do something with it. Yeah. So it'll make it very difficult for them to win now. That was like their best card, and they now don't have it.
Ha 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 ha. Get on, Magicus.
Meanwhile, we have our best card in play, and they don't have a lot of good ways to get rid of it now. And we're about to make another copy of that. So I know, so they put Subtlety on top, so we know that they have that card in their hand. So any creature that we play, they're probably going to use Subtlety. Dress down. Okay, that I don't think that's going to work the way that you want it to, my guy. I remember I told you before that actually no, it was no, I was having a conversation with somebody else like the way Magic works really easily for like 98% of the things you need to know in this game are really simple to learn, just what card types are and what order the turn is in. This dress down and the way that this works together is one of the like 2% of interactions that a lot of people don't understand why it doesn't work that way. So the opponent played this card, and I'm pretty sure they played it thinking that it would make this creature lose its ability, and then they'd be able to tap these for black mana, but it doesn't work like that. Because this does its thing before that thing takes away its ability. So they're already islands at that point. So they were hoping that they could kill this thing here, and they just don't get to. Alright.
Denied. You've been denied. Sorry.
So let's... They could have an Orcish Bowmasters. No, they can't, because they don't have black mana, so... We can attack freely with this.
Yes.
Yeah, there's nothing that can flash into play that's going to block here, and I can just cast this Mockingbird for X equals 3. I'll copy my Harbinger here. So now they really have no way of, like, getting rid of this. They can't play their Psychic Frog. Like, they only have a Subtlety in their hand to deal with anything, and if they play it, I'm just going to kill it. They obviously don't have a counterspell, or otherwise they would have countered this thing, so... I can attack with everything here. They'll flash in Subtlety to try to block something, but I'm just going to Dismember it. Sure, I understand that you're going to do this.
I really want a Frog Magicus.
Well, maybe we'll get a frog. Build a nice little terrarium.
That'd be so cool. Those are so freaking cool.
Yeah, they're screwed. They can't cast any spells, and they're just dead here. Alright, we go to game 3.
Oh, you won?
We did. We are back in this. We have a chance to win the match now.
Alright, Magicus, come on.
All
Come
right.
on. Don't fumble.
So, they haven't played any Bowmasters yet, and hopefully they don't, but I'm not going to take the chance, because I'm pretty sure their list does usually play 2 to 4 copies of it, so... I think that this was the correct way to go about this.
Don't let your guard down.
Nope. You gotta stay vigilant.
Stay vigilant like a vigilant Christian.
This is a really bad hand. I don't actually have any lands to play. I have to mulligan this. I can keep this hand. This is much better, and I think with this hand, I'm going to get rid of Subtlety because I have Aether Vial to put all my creatures in play.
So what does it cost to do a mulligan? Like, does it cost something?
Yeah, you start with 1 less card in your hand every time you mulligan. So there is a cost to it. It does matter, but...
Yeah. Because I was wondering, like, what's the penalty for, like...
Oh no. Don't Spell Pierce my Aether Vial, please. Don't. Oh no. Just
Are you
consider.
already losing?
Fuck! No, that's so bad. It is so bad for them to keep in Spell Pierce against me. Like, it's not going to stop me from playing the game, but, like, it slows me down, like, because they hit exactly that card in turn 1.
That's funny.
I mean...
It's sad for you.
Yeah. That's fine. Look, because again, Harbinger is probably going to ruin their lives, because I'm just trying to exhaust all the cards in their hand, so when I play Harbinger, they're not going to have anything to do here. They might play Murktide Regent here, actually.
What if they, like, it would be so funny if they were, like, playing the same cards as you.
They're not. Their deck is focused on playing that Frog and that Dragon guy. They have some of the same cards, it's just not... most of them are different.
Yeah.
Okay, so this looks like it's probably another counterspell. They're very worried I'm going to play Harbinger here. But I'm not. I'm going to play this this Lord of Atlantis. Because, again, I know that they have a bunch of this nonsense in here, so...
They should be worried.
They really should be, but because I'm definitely going to play this thing. I just don't want to do it yet. Now, the thing is, they probably do have Murktide Regent to play here, and it's going to be very hard to beat it now. Because it's going to be a 6/6 creature. That Spell Pierce is so brutal. Like, if they didn't have exactly Spell Pierce, then they would just be losing this game, like, on the spot because of this Aether Vial. That's okay, I guess. It does mean that if I find another land, then I can use this to get rid of the Murktide Regent. Sure. And they also might not have Murktide here because they haven't played it yet. They've just seemed to have a bunch of counter spells. Okay, are we going to play Murktide now? Is that what's happening? No.
Yes.
I think they want to make it big. So, we can afford to get hit by the dragon 1, maybe 2 times, but they'll have to tap out to play it. And then we can play Harbinger of the Seas, turn off the bad spells, and then Otawara is something they can't do anything about when we use this. Yeah, I know you're going to do this. It's going to hit me for 7 damage, which is not great, but if I find a land, we're in very good shape. That's not the one. I really need a land. If I don't find a land, then I'm in a lot of trouble.
We all need land, Magicus. We all
I
need
know.
land.
Yeah. If I do find the land, I get to bounce this thing back to their hand, and then it's going to be very hard for them to win the game.
To the heart of the cards, Magicus.
That's what we're hoping. So, yeah. But it really, I need to draw the land like this turn. That's not it.
Oh, no.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to attack them, and then I'll play this Mockingbird. It buys us a turn because it can block this guy. But, yeah, I really, really need to draw it next turn. Alright, let's play the Tide Shaper here.
I'm beginning to think the heart of the cards is a lie.
This is now Varian Island. Okay. Play the Mockingbird as a 1/1 flying creature that can just block Murktide Regent. I'm not going to copy anything because I can't. We're not far away from winning this game. Like it's still within reach. We have to find another island so that we can use this Otawara.
Are you drawing now?
No, they get to attack me again. So this is gonna block this. Hopefully they just have a bunch of black spells in their hand that they can't cast right now.
Yeah. What would if you don't have land? Is there another card that would be second best to that, or is
yes, actually. Well, if we can get another copy of this Sink into Stupor, that could also bounce this thing back to their hand. So a land, but this yeah, it's kind of a land. But if we draw this one, we would probably just cast it.
Okay.
It'd be a little dangerous though, because if we cast it, they could actually use a counterspell on it. So there might be a consideration to just take 3 life to use the Otawara anyway. Okay, well they're tapping out here, so hopefully that's good for us.
They're tapping out?
Oh, they're playing another Murktide Regent. Oh, that's bad. Okay. Well, the thing is, I can dismember this one. No, I can't. Never mind. That's a 6/6 now. All right. No, we have to find... Otawara is really... We are in a lot of trouble here. That's bad.
Oh my god, man.
No, this is very bad. All right.
Pray to say Loon.
I can block this one with Tamiyo, but that's it. Like, I don't. But the problem is this is gonna deal me 6 damage, and then if I draw a land, I can bounce this one, and then I have to basically draw a land and then a Sink into Stupor. And if I can't do that, then I'm dead. We've had so many chances to draw this land, and we just couldn't find it. So it's not impossible to win from here, but it's very unlikely.
You got this. Pray to say Loon. Heart of the cards sucks.
Tamiyo, you're gonna die for my sins. The thing that does suck, though, is that this Dismember is no longer castable in my hand. Alright, land or I die.
Land.
No, I die. Alright, we lose.
I.
Unfortunate. We had so many chances there to try to win that game, but...
Dang.
Couldn't...
Magic Kiss, you're a loser.
Couldn't get there. You don't always draw the cards when you need them, so it happens.
Hey, I was like, you know what? The heart of the cards sucks. We're going to the next thing, and you know what?
Well, we get to go first in this one, so this is good.
Yes.
This is a very dangerous hand because our Aether Vial can be played off of this Mutavault, but nothing else can. So I'm really tempted to keep this. I'm gonna do this. Only because we get to go first. If we were not going first, then this would not be a safe thing to keep. We can put the creatures into play through the Aether Vial. And if we draw a land, then that would be very good, because then we can play Spreading Seas.
Right. Have you always played Merfolk, or
for like a decade at least? Yeah.
Oh wow.
I've played a lot of other decks, but like this is my favorite one. So this is the one that most of the people watching this would know me for. Ooh, that's not good. All right. I guess we're just passing here.
How many people are watching this?
Right now, not a whole lot because normally I stream on Tuesday and I didn't do that this week, so the replay will probably have at least a few hundred people watch it.
Ah.
All right. I guess
I kidnapped him.
This is Jeskai control, so I guess I'm gonna play Tide Shaper here to try to bait out removal. I'm gonna activate this again. And just put out another these guys, and I'll take up Aether Vial to 2, and then next turn I'll put it up to this. All right. Well, I might leave it on 2 next turn just to put this Master in play. I am in such danger though. If they there is one particular card that they can play that if they have that card that this next turn I just lose the game on the spot.
Good lord, you just started.
I know. Well, Magic is a brutal game, but if they have Shatter the Sky, I die. And look, oh god, don't do it. Wrath of the Skies. Yeah, I'm dead. Like this just ruins me.
I was like, man, I just looked up at the screen and you're like, I'm losing. What?
Yeah, we're dead. There's no way we're coming back from this.
Oh lord.
That's the danger. Sometimes if you keep Aether Vial like that, then yeah, it gets really hard. Like there are some decks that might have been okay against. That is not one of them.
Yeah.
Oh wait, no, don't submit this. I need to take something out. Against this deck, I don't. Oh fuck! It didn't let me take my cards out. Whoopsie. All right. Well, we have extra cards in our deck. All right. Sure, we're gonna keep this. This is a much better hand. This is also very heavy on mana denial, so it'll be a lot harder for them to do what they were doing this time. Because I can just start removing all of their colored mana sources so that they can't hurt me. And they can't use counter spells on my creatures because I have the Cavern of Souls now.
Yay.
We'll see what they do here. I might play the Silvergill Adept. Alright. Yeah, I'm probably going to play Silvergill here. Merfolk. Now we can play Silvergill Adept, and they can't do anything about it. And we get to draw a card.
Yoo-hoo. That's always good.
Yeah, drawing cards is very good against this deck. That's how you beat this matchup, really. You just, like, have enough threats and they don't have enough answers for it. Subtlety was not a bad draw either. Getting basic islands in the face of Tideshaper is a really interesting decision. Basic Island is, like, probably the worst card in their deck against us.
So, as a when you do like a Merfolk, is there like a type of like, you know how like water is usually like uh strong against like fire type? Is there like a deck that Merfolk is particularly like weak against?
Uh, so not like specific colors of mana, though. There's a couple cards that kind of do what you're thinking about, but the decks that this is really weak against are creature kind of combo decks. So
Uh,
decks that play like lots of creatures and lots of removal spells, like those tend to be the really hard ones.
okay.
Merfolk as a deck has lots of cards in it that interact against like people's lands and also interact against non-creature spells.
Okay.
I think my opponent is just gonna die now because I'm just gonna subtlety this thing and they're gonna lose the game.
Yeah, because I noticed that like sometimes it's like a double-edged sword if you get like too many lands and then you don't have enough creatures.
Yeah. So in some format, yeah, like so what's gonna happen here is my opponent is actually just dead. They
Yes.
Yeah, that subtlety just won us the game. Yeah, because we get to attack them for 11 damage now. So this is actually a kind of deck that Merfolk is usually pretty good against.
Right.
So Spreading Seas is a really interesting card against them because they need to have 4 mana that's not islands, and if they don't, in order to bring back that card that they just played, and if they don't have that, they can't do it. So this kind of strategy can make it very difficult for them to cast a bunch of those spells. I don't know what I was gonna say. Like, I don't think Mockingbird, either Mockingbird or Tamiyo, one of these two probably comes out against this deck, and I'm thinking it might actually be Tamiyo. Because Mockingbird can still copy our own creatures, but it can also copy like their guy, so which probably won't happen often, but it might happen often enough that it's worth it. But yeah, the Tamiyo is the one we probably don't need.
Bye bye, Tamiyo.
Yeah. We could have brought in Hexcatchers. I think they have the one ring in this deck, but I'm hoping that we can just kill them before that matters.
Ew, not the one ring. Gross.
This hand is okay. Keep this. So both Cavern of Souls and the Aether Vial here make it so that their counter spells don't do anything. Drawing another land was not ideal, but so be it. I really need to draw a counter. Like, either Flare of Denial or Force of Negation would be great. Because they have cards that can destroy all of our things at the same time, and I really don't want those to resolve. Like, this is an okay hand, but it needs a little help. Take this up. That's actually not bad. Alright. Okay, sure. They can draw another card. They'll probably play that Titan guy that's going to kill this thing, but the subtlety is good because it means when they go to bring it back, it's not going to stay in play. Shatter. Oh, they're just killing the Aether Vial. I'm okay with that. That's fine. Oh no, they'll probably pay the extra one. That's never mind. Yeah. So all right, yeah, that kind of sucks, but it could have been a lot worse. The thing is, we have the lands to come back from this, and this is one of the few matchups where Silvergill Adept is actually a good card. because it lets us continue to draw more creatures to play against them. That's actually not bad either. It does kind of what we want in this match. Okay. They're not going to do anything, it looks like. Neat.
Neat.
This looks to me like they probably have another removal spell, so I think the smart thing to do is only attack with the Silvergill Adept and see what happens.
That's right. Put your head in the game, Magicus.
They could play another one of these, and that would kind of suck if they do. I think that we're just going to pass here. I can wait until I have a better opportunity to do something. They're going to cycle this to get an island. Okay, that's fine. Teferi Time Raveler, huh? This is one of the cards that we would like to not have them play this turn. Oh man, they're throwing away their own subtlety for this. Alright, they really want Teferi to resolve. Teferi is a very hard card for us to beat. This is going to be useless to us with Teferi in place, so we'll put it in the bottom. I hate this card so much. He's like one of my least favorite cards of all time.
What does it do?
Basically, I don't get to play cards in my opponent's turn, and my opponent can play all their cards in my turn. It also can bounce cards back to your hand. And part of the deal here is, like, if I play a bunch of creatures to now attack Teferi down and try to kill it, they can play, like, another one of these, like, Wrath of the Skies to kill off all of my creatures if I play them like that.
That sucks.
It does, yeah. It's pretty bad. So I think, given that, my best move here is... What's going to happen? I could put Teferi to 1. I Oh, I got a text message. What is this? Oh, I hate getting these stupid political text messages. They're awful. So, alright, I have options here. I could gamble on them not having another Wrath of the Skies, try to attack Teferi for 4. That way, even if they kill off my 3 creatures, I can still use the Mutavault to kill Teferi next turn, no matter what. Hopefully, anyway. And if Teferi goes away, then I can actually use the Sink into Stupor a lot better. If they don't have Wrath of the Skies, then me playing both of these Masters this turn is actually very good. I think that we're in a position where I don't really want to wait to find out. I need this thing to go away, and this is the only realistic way I have of doing that. Hopefully they don't have anything else to get rid of my stuff. And this is also, like, threatening if they don't do something important here. Like, they can... See, here's the other thing. They can Wrath of the Skies on my turn. Alright, they might have it on my turn. Oh, okay, but here's something really cool I can do. First of all, let's play this on Merfolk. Oh, fuck, I don't have enough mana to do this, though. I was gonna say, like, the Sink into Stupor is actually very good because it can stop them from killing all my creatures, but unfortunately I can't do that and use the Otawara at the same time. So here, how do I want to do this? If they have this, it's going to be terrible no matter what. Like, I don't have any way to play around them doing it. The important thing is if I also activate the Mutavault, it will kill the Mutavault too. So I can't activate Mutavault here. Alright, you attack the fairy, and you guys attack our opponent. And hope if they don't have it, then we might be in okay shape. If they do have it, then we're fucked. No, they have it. They're for sure.
No.
Yeah, they have it. Okay, we just lose. This is one of the cards that just came out, and this card is like ridiculously broken. It's so strong. Yeah, and the thing is, if I turn Mutavault into a creature, most cards like that don't kill your land creatures, but that one in particular would have. So turning Mutavault into a creature would not have worked. I'm going to bounce this thing back to their hand. Because it will give me a little bit more interaction here. All right. How do I do this here? I can cast Tide Shaper. I can't do all of these things. I can cast Tide Shaper just as a 2/2. I still have Sink into Stupor. That seems fine. Alright, I'm going to attack them. Alright.
Don't die, Magic Kiss.
Doing my best, but it's going to be hard.
Give it all your best, Magic Kiss.
Yeah, sure. Prismatic Ending is... Yep, just kills off a creature. It is really concerning that they have not recast Teferi here. I'm guessing that's probably because they have Solitude that they're going to play this turn. But
is there a card in your deck that could like possibly?
Yes, this one. Subtlety.
Oh.
Okay, I also expected that it could be that one, so this keeps me from dying to this card for this turn.
Woohoo!
Never mind, we just die. Alright, we're dead.
No!
Unfortunate, yeah.
That's BS.
That was brutal. Like,
oh man.
we drew like one too many lands, I think, that game, and like
that is such a double-edged sword. Like the fact that like if you have too many lands or not
it
enough
is.
lands.
It's rough, but that's part of how this game is played. The fact that they had 2 Shatter the Skies, like, we can realistically defeat them having 1. It's very difficult to beat them having 2 of them, so... They have up to 4 copies in their deck, and if they have all 4 of them... Or, yeah, if they have multiples, then, yeah, it's hard, so... I'm gonna keep this against my better judgment. Well, I'm on the play, so it should be fine, because we get to play the Aether Vial, so... We'll get to put these creatures into play over the course of several turns, hopefully. Alright. This is probably the Nadu deck? No, never mind. This is probably the energy deck. Yeah, and we definitely need to play this Tide Shaper. It's got a block Ragavan. Fuck. It's probably not going to successfully block this thing because they are going to have a spell to kill my Tide Shaper. But I gotta try. Yeah, Monster CC Shatter is very rough. Yeah, so we did what we could. Like, there's a point in the game where you just have to start taking chances and just hope that they don't have a card, because if they don't have it, then, you know, you have a chance. But if they have it, like, you're kind of screwed no matter what. Alright, so here, again, we're hoping that they just don't have a spell that's going to kill my Tide Shaper, but they likely do, yeah. Ragavan is a card that once it hits you like one time, it's like very hard to get back into the game against it. They get to like play cards off the top of your deck, and also like they get to make mana with these treasure tokens. This is also just a matchup that's very, very difficult for us no matter what. So the only realistic way that we can win this game is if we can get this Harbinger of the Seas in play and at a point where they can't kill it. So like I have to draw a land this turn and play like 2 creatures now, and then take up Vial next turn to play Harbinger. That is not going to help my cause. So again, all I can do is use the Lord to try to block the Ragavan. And hope that they don't have another removal spell. Of course they do. This is my life. This is why this matchup is so bad for us. Like remember when you were asking about what kind of decks are really hard for us to beat? It's exactly this one. This is like really, really hard. So they have lots of very aggressive creatures, and they have lots of removal spells. And this treasure token is probably going to be the reason that I can't win this game at this point. Because when I put this Harbinger of the Seas into play, they'll still be able to actually make a mana with it to cast another removal spell. The fact that we have not drawn another land here is just insane. Like, the odds are very in our favor to have found a second land by now, but as another gamble that we took, and like if we found a second land, we would probably be very winning this game, but we did not, so life is hard.
Life is hard on an island.
Like they can use the treasure tokens to get rid of this thing at any point now. Oh my god. Yeah, now that Lord of Atlantis is actually like really brutal here, because Ragavan exiling our Lord of Atlantis just sucks for us. Because it gives their own creature island walk against us. Which means that's going to kill us in 2 turns no matter what we do. This is a little bit too late. It's like, this isn't actually going to help us right now. I can play this Master of the Pearl Trident. I can block 2 things, but it doesn't actually... It's not going to be enough, right? To block this. Yeah, because they can just block with only this thing.
Let's go, Magic Kiss.
Alright, well, there is one cool thing. Because they played Lord of Atlantis, our creatures get bigger as a result. So, we definitely need to do this. Put another one of these in play. I'm just trying to think, can I win... Like, I think that I have to put this Master of the Pearl Trident in play. No, I think what's going to happen is all the creatures are just going to end up trading off. Yeah, because this is... So I think no matter what happens here, everything is going to die. They're going to be able to cast a bunch of spells anyway, right? So if they attack with everything, like, I have to block all the stuff, which means all the creatures are going to die. Yeah, that's unfortunate. So I guess the best thing to do, if they're all going to die anyway, may as well play Silvergill Adept and try to draw another land. Okay. So I can cast this card next turn. I don't know if it's going to help me, though. But the reason I want to do this is because they do have a strategy of only attacking me with this card for the next 2 turns, and if they do that, I could theoretically like beat this by drawing Sink into Stupor. Alright, well, I can't beat that. That card just kills us in the spot. They get to sacrifice all their creatures to just deal me a bunch of damage. This is one of the worst matchups in the format for us right now, and it is like one of the most popular decks here, so life is really hard. Alright, the counter spells I don't think are very good against this deck, so we're going to take those out. And we need the removal spells. Yeah, I think... Alright, I'm doing it like this. It's going to be, yeah, like, very difficult. The only way we can stop them from winning is if we just keep them from casting spells, and that strategy is not, like, easy to do. You have to kind of draw the right cards at the right time, and their hand has to not be very good. But it's one of the reasons that we're playing with this Tamiyo card is that it should help a little bit here, but I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of the way that Merfolk plays in this kind of metagame because of this deck, because this deck is so popular and we have such a bad matchup against it, but I know the fans like to see this, so we just do this anyway.
Did you lose?
I did lose that first game, yeah.
Magicus, you gotta stop losing, dude.
I can't help it. Like, sometimes it just happens. I don't think that Fish is in a really good spot right now. Like in paper, this is not the deck I have been playing because I don't really believe that it has the ability to defeat this metagame as is. But we're trying it anyway because everybody knows me for playing Fishes, and that's what they come here to see. So
I'll tell you what, Magicus, if you lose this hand, I'm leaving.
oh,
I'm gonna tune off. I'm gonna tune off. I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna say my prayers to save Loon. I'm gonna go to bed, and I'm gonna think, wow.
This hand, I'm gonna gamble this. I'm gonna gamble with this and just hope we draw a land because I don't know if we're gonna do much better. If we draw the land, we have all the cards we need to actually stop them from doing everything that we need them to do. So that's my hope. We have a couple cards we can play until that point. Sure, Galvanic Discharge kills Tamiyo. That's fine. But
no, Tamiyo, no.
All right. Well, I guess I'm gonna play this Mockingbird. Just because if I draw a land, I want to slam this Chalice of the Void on one. And if they do play a creature, I can use the Dismember at the very least. So I have at least one more turn to try to find a thing. Fuck. This card is so powerful because it's just like, yeah, they get to play this and kill off my guy. Ugh. Oh my god, are you fucking kidding me? Alright, pass. This is what I'm saying, like, this... We have to take so many chances to even have a chance here, and, like, we've just been really kind of getting screwed by this. I don't want to kill this thing with the Dismember because they might play something more important than that. Oh my god. Look, this is so brutal. Look, they're going to probably play another 1-drop off of this. Fable of the Mirror Breaker. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. We're dead. There's no way I can win this game. Their hand was incredibly powerful. Alright, I have to kill this thing. It's too late. You know what? I give up. I'm not winning this game. This thing is gonna like
Magicus.
That matchup is so bad, and like I kept a hand that had a chance. If we draw the land, we probably have a good chance, but we didn't draw the land, so we couldn't beat them. And it didn't really seem to matter because their hand was just very good nonetheless. So even if we found the land, there's no guarantee it would have even been good enough.
No. It's a double-edged sword.
It is, yeah. All right, this is actually fine because we have 2 mana here, and we have something we can do on our first turn.
But I have to kind of leave because I gotta get up at 4 a.m. Sorry, I have to be there at 5 a.m.
Yeah, this is our last match for the night anyway.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll stay up. It's only like 9:37.
Yeah, it won't be too much longer. All right. Oh god. What are we doing here?
Just when you're losing, it's when it puts me to sleep.
Sure. You know what? That's fine. They can prismatic ending it.
I told you I was gonna heckle you.
I know, that's fine. I expected this. So let's see. What Bant decks do I have to be concerned about here? It could be Nadu, I think. I don't know what plays Prismatic Ending and that. Um, they're not cards that you see together super often these days. I'm honestly not sure. I'm gonna say that we want to take them off white mana. That seems like the most relevant color to matter. Are these... They have fucking Spell Snare in, like, turn 2 of game 1. Wow. Life is great for them. How do they have the exact, like, best possible start against our hand here? That's ridiculous. Okay, try again, I guess. I don't think it matters, though, because they have another Flooded Strand, so they can just get another Hallowed Fountain here. Sure, Counterspell. That's fine. I still don't know what they're actually up to at this point, so it's... They kept a card on top, so that's probably not a good sign. Murktide, yeah, that's fine. Well, I mean, it's not really fine, but we're gonna bounce it back to their hand. That's what this Sink into Stupor is for. Oh, well, the good thing is I can play this Harbinger of the Seas, and hopefully they can't do anything else. Okay, and then next turn I'm going to bounce this thing back to their hand, and hopefully that will be good enough. They have 2 cards in their hand, and as long as they're not both counter spells, I think we're actually in a good spot here. So here, I can't actually cast any spells here. I have to just attack. So they're thinking about doing something now? What is it? Why are they just stalling here all of a sudden?
Did you stump them?
No, I think they just stepped away for a minute. Okay.
They're like, yeah, whatever. Take your time, dude. You're just gonna lose.
Alright, and here's what's gonna happen. We're gonna Sink into Stupor. We're gonna bounce this thing back to their hand. Alright, good. That's excellent. And hopefully they just can't cast spells for the rest of the game, so... I'll play Master here. Why not? Like, the worst thing they could have is a counter spell, and it's probably not enough. Alright, well, they're now in a very, very tough position. Bant Murktide, huh? That's interesting. I haven't seen a deck like this in a really long time. I don't think Tamiyo is actually going to help them at all, so sure, you can have that. I'll probably play this other Harbinger of the Seas, just in case they miraculously get rid of the first one. That was risky for them. If they block with Tamiyo and I flash in Hexcatcher, then they would be in a lot of trouble. But, okay, I have them on a 2-turn clock, so They die in 2 turns at this point. And they probably don't have anything that they can actually do about it. The best they can do is draw another card with this clue token. Which they are choosing to do. They give up. Alright, we win this first game. Okay, I am so confused as to what they're actually doing in this deck.
Did you lose or win that one?
I won that one.
Woohoo!
So there,
Girl.
this is a deck that I have not like seen pretty much ever. So it's weird. They have Tamiyo and Murktide Regent in Bant colors.
Is it just like a random like deck they made?
It's definitely not a very popular deck. So I don't think I've ever like seen anybody playing these cards together like this. They're not like amazingly powerful, so I think that we want the Subtlety, and I'm gonna say that the Mockingbird is probably not all that good here. It's like unclear how good any of the rest of these cards are. Harbinger is probably very good. They're gonna have to get like basics if they want to be able to do anything here, and I'm not gonna let them get off that easy. So I think this is probably fine.
I mean, you had 1 minute and 37 seconds.
Yeah, that's just to figure out sideboarding.
I'd have made them all it over.
So yeah, I don't think I explained this either. Like for each match, each person has up to 25 minutes that they can use in their side, and if you use all of your time, you just lose. So one of the advantages to playing Merfolk is that we very rarely use all of the time in the match. So okay, I mean this is a pretty fine hand, I guess. Might hang on to this Subtlety for a little while, just for Murktide. Tamiyo is not exactly what I wanted to see here, but they're gonna start amassing a bunch of clue tokens.
Land.
But I'll start attacking them back, so.
I like the effect on that card when it's active, the little ripple effect.
Yeah. So, yeah, every time you play a creature, it can't attack it on the first turn you play it. So, this little circle thing means it has summoning sickness. It means it can't attack.
I summon Blue Eyes White Dragon.
Merfolk. I'm going to play Silvergill Adept this turn. So they're going to draw a lot of cards here, which is going to suck. Come on, what's going on here? There's like a little lag or something. Let's draw another card. That's a pretty good one to draw here.
Woo!
Planar Genesis. Okay. You can look at the top 4 cards. You can put a land into play tapped. If you don't, put a land in your hand. Okay, sure. That's fine. They're just playing a very expensive cantrip.
That's a pretty card.
Are they playing, like... I don't know, this deck could be playing Nadu in it. I don't know if that's what's happening, but... They're playing a lot of green in their deck, and it's not clear to me why. Okay. That's actually fine, because we can play this and stop them from attacking us. They're not going to be able to shatter the skies anytime soon, because they don't have white mana for it yet. And they're probably going to die before they get to the point where they do. I don't know what's going on with them, but it doesn't look like they're in like a super great position right now.
I feel like a child that just like, I want to play some Magic cards.
I would agree with you, except that a lot of these cards are way more expensive than they should be, so...
Mom,
but,
Dad, you better buy me these cards or I'm gonna have a behavior.
our opponent is in a lot of trouble. They have to do something right now or they're dead. Alright, they gave up. They died, so... We won the last match.
They have
Yeah.
behavior.
Alright, I don't know exactly what was going on with that deck. That was really weird, but we did defeat them. They were a 3-color island deck, and they didn't seem to have... Like, they had prismatic endings, I guess, but... I don't know, they were playing a lot of good cards, but not necessarily, like, good cards that work together that well with each other. I don't know. Something seemed, like, off with that deck, so... But we are also in the losers bracket for that one, so
Could
yeah.
be new to Magic the Gathering, and then you shattered their dreams.
That's possible. I mean, that happens. I don't recommend that you jump into a league right away when you start off in Magic, but you know what? Sometimes that's how people learn. Yeah, I mean that is that's like one of the best ways to test your deck is to just throw it in a league and see how it does. So.
Yep.
I mean,
It sucked.
we learned today that we lost against the Dimir Murktide deck, right? So like that was really, really close. Like I think we had a chance to win that match and we just didn't quite get there. So I don't feel too bad about that one. We lost against the Jeskai deck. That was kind of brutal because we had we had chances I think to win that match and we just couldn't get there either. But then we also lost against the Energy deck and there is like no way we were ever defeating that no matter what we did. So. Yep. 2 really close losses, I would say, and one that was just, like, not really a game. Yeah.
Well, you won some and you lost some.
But we beat Tron, and then we beat whatever this Bant deck was, so, yeah, you know. Yeah. It sucks that some of the other matches didn't go our way, but they didn't feel like they were unwinnable. Like, our strategy of, like, messing with their lands does seem like it was working. Harbinger of the Seas is by far the most powerful card in this deck right now, so yeah, this is really good. We didn't get to really see the Mockingbird do very much, which is disappointing, because I feel like this card is a lot better than maybe I'm thinking it is, but it just hasn't come up yet, so... We'll see how it is after the ban announcement. Maybe I'll play with this card more, who knows. It's really going to depend upon what Wizards does next week, so we'll see.
Oh, so they're gonna be announcing it?
Yeah, on Monday, I think usually it's 11 o'clock in the morning and Eastern time is when they make their announcement, so... Magic Twitter is gonna blow up about this one, guys.
do they just take it out of, like, your deck automatically?
You get to keep the card, but you can no longer play with that card when you're going into the leagues and everything with it, so...
Oh...
You can play with it in other formats. You just won't be able to play with it in, say, like Modern, for instance. So.
Yeah. So what game? Like, what is the name of it? Like, is it online or is it on Steam?
So right now we are playing Magic Online. So this is actually a good question, especially for a lot of people who aren't super familiar with this game. Magic exists primarily in 3 forms. There is the online client, which we are playing. There is Magic the Gathering Arena, which is similar to this. It looks a lot nicer, but it has some other limitations. So,
yeah,
you can't trade cards on Arena, and yeah, like it doesn't have all the cards that are on this one on it. So it has some cards that don't exist in here because there's some that are online only cards that exist on Arena. So. A lot of people feel one kind of way or another about that. I personally prefer to play Magic Online because it's like the most true to paper experience, and then playing with physical cards is like the third way. And it's the way I think most people prefer to play the game, but Magic Online is probably the most convenient way to test your deck, and like, yeah, so.
So, do you have to integrate your cards into it, or do you have to buy new cards,
Nope, you have
or?
to get new cards for it. That's how it works. That's why I was
Oh, that's
saying,
crazy.
yeah, and
So
they're
you
not
have to.
exactly cheap.
That's crazy.
I know. Yeah.
You have
The
to. So you have to buy physical cards if you're gonna play online, like in person with a friend,
Yep.
and then buy cards on. They're they're just racketing. This is
Yes.
crap.
Yeah, you've known
How
about this for all like 3 minutes now, and you've already identified exactly like one of the major gripes that people have with this game.
I
So
just can't stop buying cards.
it's yeah, it's hard. But it and so at least the
How?
thing is on Magic Online, all these cards that I have, like I could also then sell them to somebody else if I wanted to, if I don't want to have them anymore. One of the biggest differences with Magic Online and Magic Arena is that on Arena you can't sell the cards to anybody. Like once you pay money for them, that's it. You have them forever. Like they're stuck there. So you can never say, you know what, I'm tired of this. I don't want to do this anymore and sell them. You don't actually own them on Arena. You just like you're paying for like basically nothing.
Oh, there's no investment in it.
No. Whereas in like at least in paper and Magic Online, you can sell the cards when you're not using them anymore, so you can get
Uh,
something back out of them, but yeah, it's
how much is a card? Like,
depends on what card it is. Like on most of the cards online are at least a little bit cheaper than they are in paper, but that's not always
oh,
true. There are cards that are sometimes like 25, even $50 a piece depending
good
upon.
lord.
Okay, hold on a second. I got to show you something. Let me grab my box from over here.
Do you have to open them up like a packet, or do you just like choose the card individually?
So, if you buy them directly from Wizards of the Coast, you buy them in random packs like this. However,
Oh,
what most people will do is they will go to a lot of vendors will just like buy a ton of cards like this and then sell them individually. So most people will go to a vendor and buy individual cards.
mm.
But I want to show you something. So this is my physical deck. Most people know that if you've been following me on my Twitter for a while, you know that I play with a very, very pretty Merfolk deck. See, like I have my nice foil Sphaloon here. Well, all right. Where is it here? So we were playing with this card in our deck, right? This is the Mutavault card. Let me bring it up here. Yeah, this card here. Oh, hold on, you can't see it. Yeah, you see it? This card right here, that's the one that I'm
Yeah,
holding in my hand right now. Do you want to take a guess at how much the one that I'm holding in my hand costs?
$50.
No. So the
Ah,
nor
yes.
the normal version of this card costs like maybe $5 at the most.
Okay.
This is not the normal version of this card.
It's shiny, right?
It
Is it
is
shiny?
very shiny. It's a special full art promo of which very, very few of these exist.
Okay, hold on. Let me give another guess. I'm gonna say like 150.
Keep going.
Oh, it's more? That
It's
card's
more.
more?
It's
Jesus
more.
Christ. Like
Nice.
250?
Keep going.
Please, Louis. Okay. I'm gonna say 375.
Keep going.
Oh my god. Okay. 650.
A little bit more.
Oh my god. 1K.
Close, yeah. Like somewhere in the like $800 to $1,000 range is probably what you can expect to like pay for this card.
Oh wow.
And we have
Okay.
3 of them in the deck right now.
All right. So I know where to, like, not your credit card, so it's definitely in your magic. Okay.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, so which I do have a full set of these, but yeah, just in that deck alone, I have 3 of these cards just because they're very, very rare and very expensive versions of these cards. So
Yeah.
now to be fair, this version of this card is only really expensive because it's very scarce. There's a version of this card that you can play, and it does exactly the same thing that only costs like $5. But this one, yeah, it costs almost $1,000 a piece.
Yeah.
However, there are cards that like legitimately do cost almost that amount of money or more, just because they haven't been reprinted in like 20 plus years, and they're very, very necessary for certain formats. Like Underground Sea, for instance, is like a $1,000 Magic card that is $1,000 at like the cheapest version of the card that you can buy. However, on MTG Arena, or I'm sorry, on Magic Online, see, yeah, I'm already fucking up. Online, Underground Sea is like, I don't know, $1 or something like that. It's not expensive at all because they can put as many as they want online. The problem is, in paper, they're not allowed to reprint that one particular card, so it gets more and more expensive every year, and the need for that card doesn't go away. So the pricing of some of the cards in this game is very, very degenerate. So yeah, it's a rough life out there. So, Magic is not for the faint of heart. However, not all Magic cards and not all Magic formats are like that though. Like one of my favorite formats actually is Pauper, which I just played on Wednesday night, which is a format that's played with only common cards. So all the cards are like very, very cheap because existing as common means that there's more of them. So
yeah,
means the most expensive
cards, no cheating.
Well, the most expensive like Pauper cards, like you can buy a Pauper deck for like $50 at like the absolute maximum for the most part. Like the most expensive Pauper deck is maybe $100. But like that's probably like very expensive for that. Like most of the decks are like $50 or less because yeah, they're all common cards, so they're not that hard to get for the most part. So yeah, some Magic formats are a lot more accessible than others, and I think like Pauper as a format is actually like really fun and really good. I might actually stream Pauper at some point again. I've streamed it on here before, and I really like that format, but the problem is there's no Merfolk deck in Pauper, so like a lot of people who watch right now don't have as much interest in seeing me play Pauper because there's no Merfolk deck to play. But I still think that if you're watching this, you should play Pauper, all right? Because it's good.
How do
Pauper's.
You know they don't want to see you play Paupers?
Well, I can take my guess based on the comments and the viewership that I get from like the past Pauper videos I've done. So the majority of the people that follow me want to see like Merfolk in Modern, so that's what I usually skew towards. But sometimes I do other stuff. Like last week we played like a Goblin Charbelcher deck, which was kind of fun. So that's just how it goes. So.
Gotta mix it up and
surprise
everybody.
And I do. That's why I said like last week we did something that was different. So from time to time I do other stuff, but primarily, I know like the audience generally wants to see this. That's why they come see me for the most part. So we try to give the people what they want. I'm not like super cruel. I try to be benevolent dictator here.
The customer is never right.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you would definitely have. I understand why you would feel that way.
The customer is never right.
So, but all right. Well, that's all we've got for today. So it was like what 2.5 hours. So we had our good content for the week. No, it was a little bit over 2 hours. So yeah. So
I stuck around even though you lost a lot.
And I appreciate that. Thank you.
I know. I was like, man, I can't. This is cringe watching you lose.
It was your moral support that helped us win the last match.
I try. I mean, I'll be honest. It was kind of a little boring. Like just like looking up and you like already lost. But
it depends. Like some matches are like that where they're over very quickly, and some can go on for like an hour just for one match. So we hope not to run into that, but it's happened several times before where I've won the game because the opponent literally just ran out of time.
Yeah.
So.
But we should definitely do this again. And
I think so. Yeah.
Maybe I'll learn a little bit more and be a little bit more vocal about it.
I think the more you see this and the more you interact with it, the more it'll start to make sense as we do it. So, but
there was an instant. I'm new. It's my first day.
well, you did good for your first day.
Woo! Yes.
All right, everybody. Thank you for being with me, Jess, and thank you everybody who's watching this. If you're watching my replay, give it a thumbs up. I would really, really appreciate that. If you go to the YouTube channel and click the like button and the subscribe button, that'd be awesome.
Right.
You can follow me on here if you're watching the VOD on Twitch. That would also be cool.
Follow.
I don't ask for your money. I only ask that you love me. That's it. So
give us money.
you can sub to this channel if you would like, and I love that if you do. But I don't ask for that. The only thing I ask is that you click the thumbs up and the subscribe buttons. That's it. So
like us, you need it.
So all right, we'll be back. We'll talk about whatever happens with the ban announcement next week, and we'll play more Magic. So until then,
all of it.
Yeah, that's right. Ban Modern. Right, we'll do that. All right, everybody. See you next time. Take it easy.